years, Minecraft PvP has produced some incredible players. But only a few have earned the respect of almost the entire community. One player dominated with non-stop aggression. The other relied on patience and incredible consistency. Even years later, Minecraft players are still arguing over one question: who was actually better, Prime Sharpness or Prime Swight? But before we start, I want to make one thing clear. In this video, we're talking about Prime Sharpness. Not the Sharpness we see today. Like every competitive player, his level has changed over time. So throughout this video, we're looking at him during the period when he was considered one of the strongest sword PvP players in the community. This comparison is between Prime Sharpness and Prime Swight. And with that out of the way, let's get started. First, let's talk about Sharpness. If you watched Minecraft PvP a few years ago, you probably remember him. Sharpness wasn't just another good player. He was one of those players who made every fight look effortless. His biggest strength was pressure. The moment he landed the first hit, he immediately looked for a combo. Instead of backing away, he stayed close to his opponent and never gave them enough space to recover. His movement was incredibly clean. His strafes looked natural, but every movement had a purpose. He knew exactly when to sprint, reset, exactly when to change direction, and exactly when to keep attacking. And because of that, many opponents simply couldn't escape his combos. Another thing that made Prime Sharpness so dangerous was his confidence. He never looked afraid to fight strong players. He trusted his mechanics. And most of the time, they were more than enough. His aim was consistent, his movement was unpredictable, and his ability to keep opponents inside long combos made him one of the most feared sword PvP players of his time. Many players tried to copy his playstyle, but very few could match his level of mechanical skill. Now let's talk about Swight. Swight had a completely different playstyle. Instead of overwhelming his opponents with non-stop aggression, he focused on consistency. His spacing was excellent. His aim stayed accurate throughout long fights, and he almost never panicked. One of Swight's biggest strengths was patience. He understood that not every fight had to end in 10 seconds. Sometimes waiting for a single mistake was all he needed. Once his opponent overcommitted, Swight punished them immediately. His movement was extremely efficient. There were almost no wasted actions. Everything looked controlled. Everything looked calculated. That made him one of the hardest players to beat, especially against aggressive opponents. Rather than forcing every exchange, he waited for the perfect opportunity. And when that opportunity came, he almost always made the most of it. So, what happens when these two players fight each other? This is where things become really interesting, because neither player had an obvious advantage. Sharpness wanted constant pressure. Swight wanted to survive that pressure and slowly take control of the fight. Right from the beginning, you can see both players respecting each other. There are no careless mistakes, no unnecessary risks. Every hit matters. Sharpness keeps trying to start long combos. Sometimes he succeeds. His movement is fast. His aim is precise. And for a moment, it looks like he's completely in control. But then, Swight escapes. Instead of panicking, he resets the fight, creates distance, finds a better position, and suddenly, the momentum changes. That's what makes this duel so enjoyable to watch. It isn't just about clicking faster. It's about timing, positioning, spacing, decision-making, and staying calm under pressure. Both players have incredible mechanics, but they use those mechanics in completely different ways. Sharpness tries to overwhelm. Swight waits for the perfect moment. Aggression versus patience. Pressure versus consistency. That contrast is exactly why this matchup is still remembered today. One thing many people underestimate is how difficult it is to play against someone like Prime Sharpness. His constant pressure forces mistakes. Even experienced players lose focus after only a few seconds. But Swight stayed calm, again and again. That alone says a lot about his skill level. At the same time, very few players were capable of applying as much pressure as Sharpness without making mistakes themselves. That was one of the biggest reasons why so many people respected him during his prime, Neither player relied on luck. Everything they did was based on experience, their movement, their timing, their positioning. Every decision had a purpose. That's why this wasn't just another PvP fight. It was a battle between two completely different philosophies of sword PvP. So, who was actually better? Honestly, there probably isn't a perfect answer. If you value aggressive gameplay, insane combo potential, and non-stop pressure, you'll probably choose Sharpness. If you prefer consistency, patience, and smart decision-making, you'll probably choose Swight. Both players mastered different aspects of sword PvP, and that's exactly why this debate still exists today. Years later, people are still comparing them, still analyzing their fights, and still asking the same question. Who would win in their absolute prime? Maybe we'll never have a definitive answer. But one thing is certain. Both Sharpness and Swight earned their place among the most respected sword PvP players in the Minecraft community. No matter who you think was better, watching these two fight is still one of the best examples of high-level Minecraft sword PvP. Now I want to hear your opinion. Who do you think was the better player? Prime Sharpness or Prime Swight? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.